Alright, so in today's video, I'll walk through how I went from tier 10 to tier 1000 on Amazon Merch on Demand in 1 year. I only relied on Amazon's organic traffic to get there profitably. So after the video, you'll know exactly what to do to scale your account. If you're new here, my name is Andreas. I've done over $1 million in revenue in less than 3 years as an Etsy print-on-demand seller from Sweden. In that same time frame, I've also managed to make about $240,000 in revenue on Amazon Merch on Demand as a side gig from Etsy, which was my main hustle. So to start off, what do you do in tier 10? This is the absolute hardest part about this whole process because you can only upload 10 designs. When I upload it, at least, I can only upload 2 product uploads a day. It's really hard to get out of this spot because you are so limited with testing different designs. I tested out so many different things. I tested out only focusing my research on Etsy. I tested out so many different strategies. I tested out just focusing on Amazon and making my own versions of that. I tested out following trending niches, chasing the trend, so to speak. I chased even design type of trends to see if that worked. I did more male designs, for instance. I was a bit successful on Etsy already, which is mainly women focused. On Amazon, I tried out more male designs. So many different things that didn't work. But what did work was to just take winning designs off of Etsy and putting them on Amazon. As simple as that. Because the main thing in the beginning is to just find a winning design style that you then can scale out different niches. The design style is everything because you can scale that. And the only way to do that is to base your designs out of research. The thing that worked for me that still works to this very day is to base all my research off of Etsy and just take those designs that work well on Etsy, put them on Amazon as well. As simple as that. Now, you can only put up 10 designs, which means that after 7 to 14 days, if none of them has sold, take them all off. That's what I did at least. And then just put up new ones, 10 new designs. Make sure to just upload each different product when the upload slots are available. And with that, it's just important to know that it's so hard to just test out different design styles with just 10 different design slots, which makes it so hard to just start off Amazon merch. So I would strongly recommend to just start off another platform, either like me, on Etsy, or for instance on Shopify. Those would be the 2 avenues that I'd recommend before doing Amazon merch if you have an account there, because it's so much easier to just do Amazon merch when you know which designs are actually doing well on the other platforms. Now you're in tier 25. You have achieved some success because you saw that a couple of your designs has actually sold a couple times. Now, what I didn't mention before, but I should have mentioned before, is that keeping all of your listings at a break-even price, so earning 0 royalty, is really important at this stage, both in tier 10 but still in tier 25, because you have such few design slots that you can fill. What I've noticed overall in my journey is that the lower price you have, the more volume you tend to do. When you have a higher price, the less volume you do, but the more profit you make. But at this stage, we only need the volume of sales so that we can actually tier up our accounts. So now you're in tier 25. Congrats on the success, because tier 10 is the hardest thing to get out of. The most important thing at this stage is just to triple down on the exact design style that is actually working. So if it's working super well in a specific niche, then go all into that niche and just scale out to different niches. For instance, if you're doing super well in the sports niche, and it's a basketball niche that you're doing super well in, scale it out to all the different type of sports there is. Try to see if you can apply it to for instance, soccer, or let's see if you can apply it to rugby or something like that. Just try and scale the design out itself to all the different types of niches that you can find within the big broad niche. So if it's a sports related design, try to apply it to different types of sports. But it's just important to just focus on the thing that is actually working. It's both the niche, the broad niche, but also the design style within that niche. Because you have such limited space, so you need to be very wary which designs you actually put up on merch. Because it does take time to actually get sales. So triple down on it, it's really important. And once you actually see that listings aren't selling that well, if after 7 to 14 days or at a maximum a month, then just take them down. If you really believe in them because they are selling well on other platforms, you have that on that, then you can probably keep them up. But apart from that, if it's not selling well, then just take them down, because you need the slots to actually get a chance to sell well on the platform. In general, the most important part about this early stage in tier 25 is to just focus on the data you've already gathered. You have gone from tier 10 to tier 25. Only focus on the designs that you sold really well in tier 10, and try to scale those out as much as possible. And you scale those out by putting more design in the same niches that you're in. Flip the design around. For instance, let's say that you have a basketball design, then you have a funny saying on top here, and then you have a basketball underneath. What you then can do is just flip it around. You can take the funny saying and put it below the basketball itself, or you could also just take the exact same design with the text on top and then just swap out the words. So you take another funny saying with the same font and with the same basketball, and you add that into the niche as well. That's how you can flip a design around too. And so you can flip a design around. You can scale out to different types of niches within the same sports niche. At the beginning, that's the main two things that you could focus on, I think. Just flip the design around, scale it out to the different types of sports niches if it's a sports niche that you found success in. Or the last thing that you could actually do, I just remembered, would be to just take the design out and just test it out in different niches overall as well. That's also a thing that you can do, but that would be the last thing that I would do because it's really important to just focus on what really works at this early stage. Okay, so now you're in tier 100. Now it's a bit different. Now you actually gotten some success with Amazon merch, and there are a couple things that are different at this stage. It's really important to scaling out your designs just like you did in the beginning. That's what I did, focusing on the 20% that actually works. That's really important. But I think it's also really important to just try out new designs so you can really see if there's another best-selling design that you can find, and that's Amazon merch as well. Just to try out different things here and there, because now you actually have some more design slots you can play around with, since you can put up 100 different designs into your account. But the most important part, in my opinion, at this stage is to incorporate systems. Your success really depends on how well your systems actually work. What I usually did with my Amazon merch journey was that I just maxed out my design slots. So like in the beginning of the day, I just said that I have to max out my design slots. In the beginning, that was really easy because there were just 2, but it gets harder and harder the more you scale up because you get more and more upload slots. Making like a dedicated time for the day and just say, I will upload this many designs, like what I did. I will max out my design slots during this part of the day, and I'll do it every single day until my slots are filled. Honestly, just really important thing to scale out the account. But this year, for instance, I focused a lot on my YouTube channel, and next year we'll focus a lot on my Amazon merch account. But basically, I haven't had a system that will say I will upload this amount of listings like each day. Do it at this specific time. Since I haven't had that, I haven't uploaded super much to my Amazon merch account. In the beginning, I always had a dedicated time that was just set to uploading listings and reflecting and just getting better on Amazon merch. And that was a hugely important thing that may be able to actually scale the account itself. So systems is something that's really important to just start off incorporating at tier 100. It's good to have them sooner, but at this stage, it's crucial to just start implementing it. Okay, now you're in tier 500. Now you're basically dependent on those systems that I just mentioned, because now you have a lot more design slots to fill, you have a lot more upload slots to fill, and you're getting closer to tier 1000, which means that you have access to ads, which is really, really important to actually supercharge your account. At this stage, it's really important to have those systems that I mentioned so that you are actually like dedicating time each and every day to scale the account itself. Either like max out the design slots like I did, or just reflect on the whole process and see what can be done better. If you want to be more precise with your exact designs, it's really important to still know that you won't hit it all right off the bat at every time. So like the more shots you take, the better chance you actually have to actually make this work. So it's really important to just put the reps in it at this stage still. But the systems really get evident here because you really need them to actually scale the account now. But at this stage, it's still the same. I would still think it's important to just focus on the 20% that actually have worked for you this far, the niches that have worked, the designs that have worked, scale it out as much as possible. If your design slots gets filled, just take a couple off that hasn't sold in like a month or two, and then add some new ones. Try to incorporate new designs. It's easier to test different designs on other avenues, as I mentioned, on like Shopify or Etsy, because the designs are so limited here. If you can find more designs that are selling well on other platforms, add them into your merch account as well. And if you want to experiment, you can try out new designs as well on Amazon. It's just hard to know if it's actually working super well at this stage because your design slots are limited. But the most important thing about this at this stage is going to be your systems, because if you don't have them, you won't progress each and every day. You won't have one foot in front of the other each and every day, and you won't make the progress you need to just get to where you want. And the most important thing at this stage is just to have the systems to ensure that you're actually progressing a little bit each and every day. All right, so now you're in the coveted tier 1000. Now you have ads. Ads are hugely important to just supercharge your journey. Just to show you, I think I got it late here in March. I got my ads mid or late March, but you can just see from 85 sales to 186 sales, which is crazy, and then to 367, then 400, then 490, then 500. And the main thing I did in the beginning was to just shove my good sellers into an automatic campaign. So what I basically did in the beginning that got me this huge bump in sales in March 2023, 85, and then in May 2023, 367. What I just did basically was just take my listings that have sold well and created an automatic campaign. That's all I did, and just add them all into there. Didn't really know what I was doing. I used like a low bid, like 20 cents, and then that's it. But that got me that huge bump. So 2 steps: create the campaign, use 20 cents as the bids. So sorry, 3 steps, and then just basically add all the sellers into one and the same campaign. Really, really easy, but that's actually what creates this huge bump. That's the thing that's actually making me earn about $1,500 to $3,000 a month, approximately, each and every month, without doing like maybe 1 to 5 minutes of work each and every day, because I just optimized my warm-up ads. But I basically go through the nitty-gritty of this type of Amazon ad campaign in this video right here. I call it the warm-ups campaign. So at this stage, I would just recommend to just do this because there's such an overwhelm of information and so much to do. It's really hard to just do all the advanced stuff directly. It's better to just fill around with it, start with this type of campaign that's super simple, and then just take it from there. Then just try an experiment with different things at this stage and just take one step at a time with Amazon ads, just so it doesn't get overwhelming. As you proceed with your Amazon ads and you start getting more comfortable with the whole like ads console and stuff like that, then I would strongly suggest to just build out a funnel. I go through that in a couple of videos, and I start off with that in this video right here. But there are different videos that's going to be on my channel about this, and they will cover every single part of the funnel. But it's a lot of more work, and it's a lot of more things to just grasp in the beginning. So when you're just starting, just do the warm-ups campaign and you will probably see a big bump in sales, just like I did. That was my experience with just starting an automatic campaign, from having no campaign to just having a campaign. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.